Hi, I'm Ethan Green from NoSleeplessNights.com, and in this video I'm going to unbox and test out the Magicteam white noise machine. I paid $24.99 for it in the UK and it's currently listed for $26.99 in the US, so it's a budget white noise machine. So let's open up the box and see what we've got inside. We have some foam padding, if I can actually pick it up with my fingers, and a user manual. Let's have a quick look, see how comprehensive it is. That's great, it's got lots of different sections to the instructions telling you how to use it. And actually has a track list as well. I'd actually read online from other people's reviews that it didn't come with a track list, so perhaps they've updated the manual. So let me put that to one side for now and have a look at the device itself. So it does seem to be safely packaged, which is good. Perhaps not so good for the environment because there's foam and plastic which is going to be thrown away, but it is good that it means that it's going to be less likely to be damaged in transit. So let's open that. And here is the device. It's very small and lightweight. That's my first thoughts. Very light actually, compared to many of the other white noise machines that I've reviewed recently. And I have reviewed a lot of white noise machines over the years. And this is one of the lighter ones and also one of the smaller ones. So immediately I'm thinking it's going to be great for portability. Now in the box we also have some more foam padding. So yeah, again, it's quite a lot of foam which is going to be thrown away probably. Or perhaps not if you're the kind of person that keeps it and looks after your devices when you're not actually using them. So here we have a cable to power it. It doesn't come with a power adapter, but that's fine because the listing didn't say that it does. And you can use any 5-volt AC power adapter that you have that has a USB outlet, or plug it into a laptop or computer, for example. Cable seems to be quite long, but I'll open that up and test it later and tell you about it in later parts of this review. So the device, here we have just 6 buttons. We've got power on and off, we've got a timer, and I can see here that we've got a timer of 1, 2 or 3 hours, and also we have plus and minus, which is going to be for the volume, and then we have the track choice. I do think that it would have been good to have buttons separately for the different kinds of nature sounds, white noise or fan sounds, just to make it quicker to choose the track that you want. For example, the DreamEgg D3 Pro that I was reviewing recently does have 3 separate buttons, and it just makes it quicker to find the actual track that you're looking for, rather than having to scan through 40 of them potentially. So on the underside, don't have that much information about it. As I say, 5 volts input, and that's going to be where we plug it in. Have some feet here, looks like silicone padding, which is going to stop it from sliding around on the nightstand. And let's just see. Yeah, that's good. If you're going to be pushing it accidentally in the night time when you're trying to change the track or the volume, then it's not going to slide off the table and straight onto the floor. So what I'm going to do now is plug it in, and then we'll listen to all 40 sounds, which is going to take a while, as you can imagine. So if you're not interested in listening to those, skip ahead a couple of minutes in the video, and then I'm going to test it out over a longer period of time and tell you more about it. Okay, so now I've got it plugged in. I've already had a listen to the sounds, and I've decided I'm going to start with the nature sounds, and then play through the music, and then the white noise and the fan sounds. Some of them are repeated, but just slightly different. So for example, there's 4 brook, 4 waves, so they might sound quite similar. And in that case, I'm going to play through them quite rapidly. And where they're a bit more interesting, for example, the thunder, I'll play it for a bit longer. I'm not going to talk while I play through them, but I will give you my opinion afterwards. So let's have a listen. And that's the sounds. I have to say the variety is fantastic. There's so many different sounds in there, especially compared to white noise machines that only have 6 to 20 tracks, for example. I really like the water sounds. There's so many different kinds of rain and running water, and they sound pretty good on the whole. Having 5 music tracks is nice as well. It's unusual to have more than 1 or 2 lullabies, and they sounded pretty relaxing. My main issue listening to it so far though is that the speaker quality isn't the best. It clearly lacks bass, and you kind of notice that with the thunder and the wind and the pink and the brown noise, sounds like that which just should sound a bit deeper. Okay, let's have a listen to the volume now. There are 32 different incremental volume settings, so I'm not going to play through all of them. I'll scan through quite quickly so we can have a listen. That's on a low volume, and let's turn it right up. So it seems to me that the sounds are quite clear on lower volume levels, which is always good. However, the maximum isn't as loud as I'd like it to be. I think it might mask some external noise, but if you've got loud noise coming from neighbours or other rooms in the house or outdoors, even on the maximum volume, it's not going to block out as much of that as some of the more powerful white noise machines. What I'm going to do now then is spend some more time testing it around my home so I can give you a better idea of just how good it is. I've now spent a week using the Magicteam, and I'm happy to say that my first impressions were accurate, but I do have some extra points to make. Firstly, the loops are better than I was expecting. You can't spot them on the more constant sounds, like the white noise, rain and running water, but I was able to time the music tracks, all of which have loops of at least 70 seconds. And that's not bad for these devices. Some sound machines have very short loops of just 30 seconds, for example. One feature that was well designed is the auto-off timer. You can run it all night if you like, or select a timer of 1, 2 or 3 hours. I like how the volume fades out too, which is good if abrupt volume changes wake you up. And if you don't like having any LEDs shining in the bedroom when you're trying to fall asleep, you can turn them all off by long holding the timer button, which is a nice touch. The Magicteam is very small and light. It weighs 0.95 pounds, which is 431 grams, and it measures just 3.9 by 3.93 by 2.3 inches, which is 9.9 by 9.98 by 5.84 centimeters. So it's a similar size to the Electrofan Evo, the Remfo and the DreamEgg D3 Pro, which you can see here, but it's definitely the lightest of all of those. So it could be a good option if you need a portable sound machine to take with you when you're travelling. Compared to other sound machines, there are some notable features missing. For example, there's no headphone jack or night light, and there's no internal battery, so it has to be plugged in to work. The cable's about 1.5 meters long though, which meant it easily reached a power outlet from my nightstand and desk. One final feature to mention is the memory. If you turn it off and on again, it will start up with your most recent sound choice, volume and timer settings, and that just saves time when there are 40 different sounds to choose from. My final verdict then is that the Magicteam white noise machine excels when it comes to the variety of sounds, especially for the relatively low price, but it is let down somewhat by the underwhelming speaker. I think it might appeal to the parents of young kids, as there are bound to be several sounds they find relaxing, and it helps mask some external noise. Adults who enjoy the sound of rain and running water might appreciate the wide range of those it has as well. But if you prefer white noise or fan sounds, I'd probably recommend a device that specialises in those, such as the Electrofan Classic or Evo, the Snooze or the Dome range. And that's it for my review of the Magicteam white noise machine. I hope you found this video useful. If you did and you'd like to buy it, you can find a link in the description below to do so. And please also subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep in touch and see future videos. Thanks for watching. This is Ethan from No Sleepless Nights.